The mud flood coming across the border from Mexico.
And what's the mud flood? Mexicans? Is that what you call Mexican immigration mud floods?
Yep.
Okay.
The mud flood is coming across our borders, taking our jobs.
Have you ever met a Mexican person?
Sure. I live in a ghetto.
What did y'all just send me to react to? Don't ever talk about my Mexicans. That makes me so mad. What? What is this, Donald Trump's nephew? What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. Now, excuse my appearance. This is I woke up like this look, okay? I literally woke up like this, decided to film. Don't judge me. Today we are going to be doing a highly requested video. This video has been being requested to me for like a couple of months now, and I'm now deciding to react to it. I haven't done a reaction in a long time, y'all. Like, when's the last time I did a react? Like, it's been a long time because I was just tired of doing these. Like, oh my god, and then the copyright strikes. Y'all, I was going through it. So this is an episode of the Rolanda Show. I have never heard of the Rolanda Show. Comment down below if you've heard of it. I've never heard of it. And the name of the episode is I'm Young and I'm Racist. Now, I guess this is an episode regarding racist young people. I'm just guessing off of the damn title. I don't know what to expect. Okay, now this video is 48 minutes long. Therefore, we're going to split this up in two parts. This is part one. Make sure you subscribe and double tap that notification bell to be notified when I post part two. Make sure you follow me on Instagram because you know YouTube be playing with notifications. And yeah, let's get straight into it.
Everybody, I'm getting ready to do the show. And let me tell you something. I've got to admit something to you. This is not going to be an easy show for me to do. The last thing that I ever want to do on television is give a 1-hour platform to a bunch of racists, especially young kids who are racist. I was talking with my producers today before we did this show, and we thought it was important to do because all of us need to keep our fingers on the pulse of racism. It seems every time we pick up a newspaper or read another story about racism, intolerance, some kind of ism, whether it's black churches being bombed or Mexican immigrants being beaten up coming over the border, or even Marlon Brando making that statement that upset the Jewish community. It just seems that all of us in some way or another are touched by racism and intolerance.
This is true.
Yeah, I can remember being 4 years old, growing up in North Carolina. And I remember I was in kindergarten. And we were real excited because we were going to go to this country club and go for a big picnic, and all the little kids were excited and we were happy, and it was spring, and I ran home and I couldn't wait to go. The day of the picnic, my mother and father decided that I wasn't going to go. We were going to go visit my grandmother instead. You can imagine how upset I was about that. It wasn't until I was 16 years old that my mother and father sat me down and explained to me why little Rolanda couldn't go to that picnic. You see, I had come home one day with a note pinned to my little jacket. And it said, yes, we're having a picnic, but Rolanda can't go.
Oh my God.
Because they don't allow blacks in this country club.
Oh.
I pray that no other children have to go through that. That's why I'm going to do the show today. Let me introduce you to someone.
Oh my God, what? Yo, that's mad petty. That's mad petty. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Like, that's childish. That's a whole kid, yo.
I have met who is a very interesting man. His name is Johnny Lee Clary. And Johnny, a lot of people are going to freak out when they understand that you are the former imperial wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. Now, Johnny claims that he's a changed man now. He's not a racist anymore. And Johnny, you say that you're going to deal with some of these kids out there, some of these kids who are so racist, so bigot. You can change people? Can you really do that?
Well, I can't change them, but the Lord Jesus Christ can change them. You know, hatred stirs up dissension, but love covers all wrongs. Hatred is a learned response. You're not born with hate. You have to be taught it. And the best way to overcome an enemy is to make a friend out of him.
Well, now I'm not going to let anybody judge you today. We're going to try to keep an open mind, because I'm going to tell you, we'll be back in a minute. We've got some kids out here. You're going to hear things that you do not agree with today. You're going to hear things that you totally agree with today. But let's try to have an open mind as we're talking to young people, to teenagers who are dealing with their own issues about race relations in America. All this week we're talking about teenagers and the things that they're thinking about, the things that are important to them. And as we enter into this new day, I think all of us want to know, what are our kids going to do about hate? Our first guests say they don't care what Johnny said backstage. They say they're never going to change their racist ways of thinking. These young people say that blacks, Mexicans, Jews, anybody who is not white should get out of America and make this a white homeland.
Wait, why don't Jewish is not a race though. Neither is Mexican. This is okay. Jewish is a religion. Am I correct? Mexican is an ethnicity. Am I correct? I'm confused. She should have just said anyone who isn't white should get out the country, because that would have made it more correct. Most of the things she listed wasn't a race. That's interesting. So, okay. I just thought about that. So if you discriminate against someone of a different ethnic background, is it still considered racist, or is there another name for it? I just thought about that. Don't know if that's considered racist or if it's, what would that be called? Prejudice, maybe? I just thought, that just clicked in my head. I'm like, those aren't racist, but okay, sis.
I want you to meet 22-year-old Jeff.
22.
He's a leader of a group called the National Socialist Movement. He is joined by 17-year-old group member, Vava. Guys, I gotta tell you. I don't really want to meet folks like you.
They look scary.
To meet you, just so I understand where you're coming from. I have to admit, I look at you, you're so young. It breaks my heart to think that you might be filled with so much hatred. Why? How'd you get involved in a group like this?
Well, let me tell you, it's not hatred. It's love for our own people, love for our own race. You have all these other races, and they can have black pride, black power, Jew power, etc., etc. But anytime a white person is to stand up and say, you know, I'm proud of being white, you know, we're shot down and said, oh, he's a racist, this and that.
But Jeff, if I'm to stand up and say, black power, or I love my people too, I'm not saying kick out everybody.
Exactly.
I'm not saying necessarily that we need to kick everyone out of America. We need a white homeland. And no matter what happens, we're going to have that white homeland. Any means necessary.
What? First of all, what? Like she said, just because I'm saying black pride or whatever pride doesn't mean I'm saying, oh, fuck everyone else, or I'm more important than anyone else, okay? Granted, there are people who are like that. I'm not dismissing the people who do think like that, because I do know people who are like that, okay? There are black people I know who are actually pro-segregation and believe there should be a black sector of somewhere where only black people could. This is a real thing, okay? I actually reacted to someone who had that ideology months ago on my channel. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm proud to be white if you are proud to be white, you feel me? But you can't be like, oh, I'm proud to be white, but F everyone else. Everyone needs to leave this country. This needs to be a white land. There needs to be a white country. The thing is, you could be proud of where you come from. No one's saying you can't be proud of where you come from, but you need to understand by saying white power. I love my white this. I love my... There's nothing wrong with... For me, personally, there's nothing wrong with saying I love my white skin or I love being white. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The problem is, white people have had a history of being violent towards people who are different than them. Different religions, different races, etc. So by saying white power, white this, white that, you're basically kind of disrespecting and throwing in the faces of the people whose land you stole, whose culture you've stolen, diminished, erased, tweaked around to fit your narrative. That's why it's seen as a slap in the face to a lot of people. But it's not so much as saying, oh, don't love where you come from, don't love your people. It's basically like a lot of people just find offense to it because it's like a lot of other groups of people, races, ethnicities have had to work hard to prove that they are important to others, to prove that they have a place in this world, to prove that they are worthy of employment, of respect, of being seen past their said stereotypes. So it's just like, by you saying, oh, white this, white that, it's like, okay, well, we already know that. The society's built for you. Your ancestors made society for you. Your ancestors set shit up so that you can succeed, so that you can be seen as the be all above all. So that's basically why when people say white power, I love my white skin, people just give you the side eye like, okay, we get it. Like, you know, that's basically why. But yeah.
Does that mean kicking people who look like me out of a homeland that my ancestors and my relatives helped build?
Exactly.
Well, they all, we want our own homeland. We just want a section of the country, and that's it. You know, you can have whatever else you want. You know, we just want a section.
But what if you want my section, where my house is? Does that mean that you're going to kick me out of my own?
Like what they did to the Native Americans?
Come to our section. So we'll do whatever we have to.
We'll split the country up. It doesn't matter. You know, lots of people say, oh, why don't you go back to Europe? Well, we can't go back to Europe. There's no, it's overrun. It's overrun, just like it is here. You look at your audience. We're filled with, you have a multiracial cesspool here in New York City. And just to get
cesspool?
Get back on the Johnny Lee Clary subject, I want to say something about Johnny Lee. He's a racial traitor. He came into the movement a while back, and now he's basically saying that he doesn't believe in it anymore. Well, he probably never believed in it in the first place. He is a white racial traitor. He was, I don't know, he probably sold his race out for a bag of nickels.
Well, this is the type of discussion we're going to have today, folks. What can we do to tackle talk like this? Johnny's got a few things to say to you, too. He says he can come out here and change you boys. We're going to see what you have to say about him. Intolerance and racism in America. Can we do it? Stick around for this heated debate on
This is nuts. Like,
scares me. I'm so proud of this country. I am so proud to be American. I love this country. I can't
she being sarcastic.
This country. But it frightens me. It brings tears to my eyes to talk with people like we're talking to now, 22 years old, and another teenager here. Bob, how old are you?
17.
17. And Bob is in disguise, by the way, not because he's embarrassed or ashamed of being a racist, but because he's a minor, and on television we have to cover his image. These two young men say they are darn proud of being racist as young as they are. They say that blacks and Jews and anybody of color who is not white needs to get out of their way, because they say America ought to be a white homeland. How in the world did you guys get involved in an organization that would make you so proudly display swastikas that mean death and destruction to so many people in the world?
It was not a choice. It was something that we had to do. This country's turning into a sewer. I don't like this country for what it is today. I can't say that I'm going to have a job as good as my parents and my grandparents had, and any other white person is pretty much in the same boat.
Why?
Because the country's being overrun by immigrants. We've got the mud flood coming across the border from Mexico.
And what's the mud flood? Mexicans? Is that what you call Mexican immigration mud floods?
Yep.
Okay.
The mud flood is coming across our borders, taking our jobs.
Have you ever met a Mexican person?
Sure. I live in a ghetto.
what did y'all just send me to react to? Mud floods? This is the thing. I grew up with Hispanic, Latino people. Therefore, I just call hella offense to that. Don't ever talk about my Mexicans. That makes me so mad. First of all, what? What is this, Donald Trump's nephew? And a lot of you guys may not agree with this, but it's the truth. Racism is an opinion at the end of the day. It is an opinion. I don't like black people. I believe these people are that. I believe these people are this. That's an opinion. You don't have to respect the opinion. You don't have to agree with the opinion, but it is an opinion. So racism will always be here. Racism will never stop, because at the end of the day, it is an opinion. It is the way people think about something. Okay? Whether you even everything, most of these things are opinion. Most of this hatred is just an opinion. Okay? You can either feed into it, or you could ignore it, or you can try to understand where they're coming from, which is what Rolanda is trying to do. Now, this is insane. Now, they're saying that, oh, Mexicans are taking their jobs. I never can understand why people keep saying that. from what I understand, immigrants are not taking most of the jobs that these elite white people are getting. Most immigrants are taking the jobs that a lot of Americans do not want to do. Like my parents definitely don't have high-end jobs that white people would do. Definitely not. A lot of my friends' parents who are immigrants, whether they're Hispanic, Haitian, Jamaican, African, they're not doing the jobs that a high educated white person or in general a white person would do. So I don't understand why this is always the excuse when they say that, oh, immigrants are taking their jobs. That makes absolutely no sense. No, we're not taking any jobs, okay? Immigrants are not taking any jobs. They are doing the jobs that you do not want to do that need to be done, and they do a damn good job at it.
Deal with them every day.
Every day, all night long.
Get harassed, attacked, everywhere we go.
Yeah, because you're wearing a swastika.
What was the day that you decided, you know, I could join a whole bunch of other groups at 17 years old, but you know, for me, I'm going to join a group that doesn't like anybody but white folks. What made you decide, Bob? What was it in your life that made you sign up?
When I was 14, I was going to middle school, and I started noticing all the Jews around me, the blacks around me, how they get the special privileges, and I just got sick and tired of it. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to do something for our race before it dies out. It's going to die out soon.
That brings up a very good question, the affirmative action thing. They say that affirmative action was made for the minorities to get special privileges, special jobs, and all this kind of stuff. All right, well, you look around in New York City. The white people are the vast minority here, as in our area of where we live in St. Paul. And why is there still affirmative action? It's a big joke. It's a spit on the white race. That's
so why don't you do something constructive, like learning to vote and being part of a government movement to bring up another voice as opposed to hating people?
We're part of a government movement. We're for a new government, National Socialist government.
Not my government. Let me tell you, we've earlier in the show, we met Johnny Lee Clary, who's a former Imperial Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. He says he's changed his ways. He's no longer a racist, and he believes he can take the two of you and turn your lives around, get rid of this racist attitude. Do you believe that he can do that?
Hell no. No way.
Oh my God.
Who's this man down here in the hood saying, heck no? You don't like him either. He said he was a traitor to the white race. Is that what you think too? Come on, stand up. What's your name?
William McKinney.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
William McKinney.
Okay, and you represent what group?
Rebels Life for the Ku Klux Klan.
The Ku Klux Klan.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you don't believe that Jimmy can change somebody like you?
Hell no.
Are you? I guess you're proud to see young people like this.
Yes, ma'am, I sure am.
Why?
Because I was born in a white race, I'll die in a white race, and that's the way it is.
And I love you because you're just a good person, maybe, and it doesn't have anything to do with you being white. So why can't you give that back to me?
Because, I tell you, everybody should stick with their own kind. Black should stick with black. White should stick with white.
I can't tell you how many good friends I wouldn't have if I took your advice.
Yeah, but what you gonna do with them little nigglies running around here? Like,
oh, no. Now listen, one of the things I'm real proud of myself of is that no matter what you throw at me, I'm still gonna love you. There's nothing you can do to me to make me hate you.
Okay, sis. Thank God.
And all I ask is that you respect people because we're in people's homes
I
now.
don't hate you.
Okay, but don't say words that would degrade the people I come from, okay?
Yes.
The point is, I don't hate black. The point is, they should stay with their own kind.
Jimmy Lee, you listening back there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm listening.
What do you say to this man? You say you can change him.
Well, I'm not saying I can change this man here. I mean, he's...
Look up there in the monitor.
You know, the youth of today will decide what kind of nation that we live in tomorrow. And I would hate to think, I want these young, this is a perfect example. Rolanda, I want these young people...
Okay, wait, we want to hear, we want to hear, sit down for a second. I want to hear, Jimmy, what do you say to this?
Rolanda, I want these young people on the stage to take a look at this man sitting down there doing all the mouthing and see that's what their future could be like if they continue in this course that they're in.
Bob, Jeff, what do you say to Jimmy, who says that Johnny, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused calling you Jimmy. Johnny, what do you say to these young folks here who don't believe, who call you a traitor, basically, to the white race?
Rolanda, they don't understand what I've been through, but I'll tell you what, I've been where they've been. And if I was where they was at now, I would probably be saying the same thing.
This is ridiculous.
See, Rolanda, these are not bad kids. These are misguided
One at a
kids.
time, sir. One at a time. I'll come let you give your position. But let me hear what Johnny's saying. What'd you say, Johnny?
Rolanda, these are not bad young men up there. These are misguided young men that's been misguided because the guys sitting down there on the front row, guys like that. And these kids could turn around. They could contribute to the society because these two boys sitting on the stage, they're not dummies. They've got brains, and they could turn around and turn their lives around and do something positive for all races in America.
The only thing we're going to be doing is turning this country around, and people traitors like Johnny Lee Clary are going to get caught in the crossfire.
What do you say, sir?
So, gentlemen, what do you hope to gain by having so much hatred towards people that you don't even know?
It's not hatred. Like I clarified earlier in the show, we want a place for our own people. We love our race as you should love your race. There should be no problem with that, right?
You keep saying your race, the white race. No, there is no pure race. Whether it's white, black, everybody is mixed with something.
Thank you.
Somewhere.
Go and take a DNA test. I'd love to see these people take a DNA test.
We're going to come back in a minute. We've got to take a quick break for a commercial. But I'm going to ask the question, why is this 20-year-old mother trying to teach her 2-year-old baby daughter how to be a racist? And whatever happened to this racist who stood up in the Rolanda audience? Did he, like Clary, maybe change his racist ways? Maybe you remember Gordon.
White power, we all bleed the same, okay? That's I am, and I'm proud to be gay, honey. I'm proud to be gay.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's hear what Gordon has to say.
We're hearing all this stuff, poor little innocent nigger. Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Now, wait a minute. We're in my studio, which is like my living room. And there are no H words, there are no N words, there's no disrespect for people here.
Yo, this show's unbelievable. They need to bring this shit back.
To call the organization that Jeff and Bob belong to, the National Socialist Party, that believes America should be a white homeland and anybody who's not white ought to get out of their way. This is the voicemail that you might hear if you call. This is their message on their machine.
Get
Let's
out.
play that.
Get out.
You have reached the National Socialist Movement. We will be judge, jury, and executioner. Your future and your children's future is on the line. It's time to enlist in the fight for a white homeland.
Do your parents agree with what you're doing?
I'm not going to talk about my parents. No, they don't agree with it.
They don't.
No.
I bet they're ashamed.
If a person should be ashamed of another person for being proud of their race, then there's a problem.
What?
Bob, what do your parents say?
They're against it, but they let me do my own thing, you know. They understand what I'm doing, and they let
See,
me
what
do
I'd like to say, you always single us out. All the talk shows always do this kind of stuff.
I'm not like all the talk shows, sir.
Let me finish. They make us look like haters and all this kind of stuff when you got people from every race that are proud of their people, that want to stand up and do something about it. And that's all we're doing. And they, you try to make us look bad. Say that everything...
I think you make yourself look bad. I'm not doing anything
Exactly.
to make you look bad. I think that's on you, sir.
This is the thing, right? I understand what they're saying, but what they're saying doesn't reflect the history of what they've done. The lynching of black people, the senseless killing of black people and people of other races and ethnicities has proven that a lot of things in this so-called positive white power movement hasn't been so damn positive. They've been known to do a lot of fucked up shit to a lot of people. So it's funny because it's like they're trying to make it seem like they're so peaceful and they just want to, have a place of their own for the white race, when in actuality, that is not wholeheartedly true, okay? It's really truly not. That's what they want to do. Maybe, you know, they never lynched a black person or discriminated against a black person, cursed the black person out, denied them of an opportunity to get a job, whatever. But the thing is, a few people in your organization have done a lot of bad shit to other people, and it just makes the whole organization look bad. I don't know what these people do behind closed doors. We will never probably know, okay? But just know it's 2019 and people are still out here getting lynched. And there's still KKK villages. My friend lives right near one. We rode right through it. I actually have a... Let me not say that. But let's just say y'all still exist. And a lot of crazy things happen there. And it's like, how do y'all explain all of these lynchings and stuff still happening? Like, how?
I just wanted to point out, before you kept referring to Johnny as a traitor, perhaps he just woke up and maybe soon you'll do the same.
Right. He's cute.
When I listened to your message, you said you would be the executionist.
Right.
Well, my husband survived a group of executionists called Nazis.
Oh.
So I would suggest, if you want to execute anybody, start with yourselves.
The Holocaust was a hoax. It was a big lie, and you know it.
Why do people say this?
I'm a reporter on a teen national TV show called In the Mix, and I interview teens every day. I think what we're seeing here is two teens who are looking out to be loved, and I think that's a big problem in this country. We see, no, seriously, I think we're seeing gang activity because there are kids who are not being cared for.
If you believe that, what can we do for teenagers like that who you believe are so misguided by a lack of love?
Really, I unfortunately, I don't see any hope for them. I think what we need to do, the reason why we have teen gangs and we have people like this is because they're young people who are not getting the care and support in their homes that they need. So they find these organizations that tell them they're great and we love them.
You misunderstand. We are going to stomp out gang activity. We are going to stomp out drug users, abortion, all these terrible things that are destroying this country. We're going to stomp them out.
Come on. I got a question. You said that you want to go where it's only your race and you want to actually kick everyone out of New York City because it's a sewer. Why won't you just go into the middle of the country where it is all your race and make it a lot easier?
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Montana,
Stop complaining about it. You can have New York City. New York City is beyond law. It's gone. We want a white homeland. It doesn't matter where it is.
Well, like, in the Declaration of Independence, it states that there's people with liberty and justice for all. If you want to kick people out of, like, where they're living, they have a right to be there. They have a right to think their own things. They have a right to go about their own business. Why do you think that you can just come in and just push them out?
Right. We have a right to live in a white, safe place.
You don't have a right to push them out.
Where we can walk down the street without getting mugged and shot by these savages and these gang members.
What?
White people, I haven't had white people attack me for walking down the street, but the minorities will. And a woman cannot walk the street.
Yeah. What's that, sir?
Right.
What's that?
I got a comment for you. I'm black and I'm with a white girl. And you say you want to separate things like that? I wouldn't have this if it went your way.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. This is what I have. This is what I live for.
If you wanna go live in your own country, away from us, and do your race mixing thing, whatever you want to do, that's fine by us. But we want a country of our own. Where is it? Where is it? How can we go there?
You know, he mentioned that he wants to live in a place where a white person can walk down the street, or he lives in a place where white people walk down the street and get mugged, get shot at by all these minorities. He wants, but when he goes to a white neighborhood, that doesn't happen to him.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I think if you came to my white neighborhood dressed like that, it might happen 10 times as much as it happened.
Exactly. That's all I don't know what he's talking about.
I do respect that he wants this promised land of his own, because we all want our own promised land. But if you want a white promise,
are you Jewish or are you white?
What color is here?
No, I think you're Jewish, sure.
What color is my skin?
You're Jewish.
What color is my skin? Answer that question for me.
The seed of Cain, it says so in the Bible.
Okay, that's fine by you. But what color is my skin?
Green.
Oh, it's green. Okay, well then you need glasses or something, okay? It's on my birth certificate.
Listen, let me ask you this. As a white man listening to a young white man talking about this type of thing, what does that do to you?
Makes me feel pathetic inside and kind of nauseous because, you know, these are two young men with a lot of energy, and you can see that if it was just turned around and put in the right direction, they could really do a lot of creative things in this world. I'm also an angry, quote-unquote, white man. It hasn't been easy for me. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I've had more peaks and valleys in my life than the Rocky Mountains. But you know what? I don't wake up in the morning and say, God, because that person got the job instead of me, or because I got fired because of this, I'm going to pick up a gun or wear a swastika and provoke this type of insinuation that I'm going to liberate white people to this extreme.
Exactly.
If you want to be white and you want to find this homeland yourself, that's fine. But what you're indicating by just your outfit alone with the swastika is you're not just looking to love the white people. You're looking to hate everyone around you, because that's what that swastika symbolizes.
Thank you. That's what they're not understanding.
Number 2 is, I'm just curious to know, because I do respect what you're saying in regards to you want a white homeland. That's a beautiful thing, and I hope it happens for you, but not in the way that you're construing it. But I just want to ask you a question or two. When you were a child, were you?
Wait, let me take a break. He's so good. I don't want to.
No, for real. He needs his own show.
Also, you know, as young girls, many of us started joining social clubs around the age of 10 years old. You know, things like the Girl Scouts and the 4-H Club and maybe even the Little League. But at the age of 10, our next guest joined the Ku Klux Klan. Now she's all grown up. She's 20 years old. She's raising her 2-year-old daughter, who wore her first KKK robe at only 1 month old.
What?
Meet Wendy and her little daughter Ashlyn right after this.
Okay, this episode is a hot ass mess. Like, this is probably one of the very few times that I've actually watched something and didn't pause it enough, because it was just that good. Like, I couldn't wait for the next part. Like, this is juicy. This is very, very entertaining. This is very, very entertaining. So, we are gonna pause this right here, and we're gonna wait for the lady to come out in the next episode, okay? The next time I react to this, because this is too much. I got my leg up and everything. These people are nuts! Like, they really wildin'. Like, they dead serious. Like, they dead, bruh. Like, I just can't believe where stuff like this comes from. Like, I just don't believe it. Like, I understand the need for a white homeland and you love your white people, but the whole wearing the swastika, yelling white power, lynching, hurting, disrespecting, discriminating against people who aren't your kind, not okay by any means. Whether it's a white person or a black person doing it, it's just not okay to discriminate against other people just because they are not like you, just because they do not look like you, values as you, the same religion as you. It's just wrong on every single level, and I don't understand why people don't understand that concept. This is insane. Like, oh my god. Let me know what you think about this episode down in the comment section below. Do you think that they're right? Do you think that we should be separate? White people should live amongst white people, black people should live amongst black people, etc. Do you think that there's some validity to what they were saying about, you know, immigrants taking jobs, blah, blah, blah? Like, let me know what you think about this episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that. Make sure you leave me a comment down below. Okay, don't be shy. Leave a comment. Okay, follow me on social media, get your merchandise, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.